Let's pay homage to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I will pay respect to the Buddha, reciting one of the stanza. Buddha bodhaya te te ti tanto yo dhammataya sa. Dhammataya tanto dhammante no vataranaya sa. Nibbutto nibbānataya tan lokatarananami. Lokatarano lokatumai kusaya tasu phito mudo. Yo nago Buddha naga miro yadi asinde atota chimya swapyadi. Buddha tisali kuro rai tu twinti myendo muvi phit Bodhaya sa chatai tadu bobolu ro kutu tin lin ti jaba si jin chu nga lagao. Danto kuro ga bin yin chi ro muvi phit Dhammataya sa chatai tadu bobolu ro kutu me yun yin chi ja si chin nga lagao. Danto kuranga bin kileta upu khati inyin do muvi phit Dhammataya sa chatai tadu bobolu do kutu me yun kileta pu nyin ja pa si chin nga lagao. Dino va tandaya na vangarachango Kutan chau chau kuro ran yau pi phit da liyin Dharanaya sa kuro tatu chutai tu ro ne buddha wan ma bekando. Kutan chau chau yau cha ba si jin chu nga lagao. Ne buddha kileta pranibban win san yote. Kuro rai e nyin do muvi phit Nibbānataya sa kuro tatu we ne lu ro pukhate nyin ja ba si chin chu nga lagao. Dhammam ne sin li na dhammasako te te di karuna sheta metta phit ho cha ro mu khe ba pe. Lokatarana lokatumbai kusaya tasu phito mudo. Tanagam Buddha naga miro yadi asinde atutatu myaswa phyago. Nami namami ko no nalong thong song pyong pyo. Mango sho yue gado myan no lesong mo yue. Shikho nyobai myaswa phya myaswa phya. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the unwholesome results of the Buddha. Do you know the unwholesome results of the Buddha? No. Today there are many Singaporeans. I want to ask all the Singaporeans, is there anybody who knows about the 12 and wholesome results of the Buddha? What is your answer? You're silent. How can I translate it? How can I interpret it? You know, when Buddha keeps silent, Buddha agree. What is, oh, how to do this? What's wrong? Maybe you can put analysis. For our Myanmar people, they know the unwholesome results of the Buddha, but for the Singaporean, there may be those who know, there may be many those who don't know yet. For that reason, I would like to share these to all of you, but I cannot talk about all the 12 and wholesome results of the Buddha tonight. I have given this talk in Korea before coming to Singapore. 2 days a week I have given there. It lasted nearly 2 months. That's why, do you want to listen for 2 months? Yes, you must. How to do? Difficult. So today I will briefly explain some of the Vipaka, what I can tonight. As I told, there will be many those who don't know yet. These are very important for all Buddhists to know, because we are Buddhists. We believe in the Buddha, we believe in the Dhamma, and we believe in the Sangha. What is the central teachings of the Buddha? The central teaching of the Buddha is mainly based on karma and its results. Those who have faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha are those who have faith in karma and its results. Have you faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha? Yes. Do you believe law of karma? Yes. Without having faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, without having faith in the karma and its results, we cannot call ourselves real Buddhists. Actually, our own karma is the cause of whatever results. What is? Our own karma is the cause of whatever results. Nobody can do anything for us. There is no creator, there is no God in Buddhism. But what I mean, there is no creator like God in Buddhism, but there is creator. Do you know what is the creator in Buddhism? Karma. Karma is our creator. Karma create us. Karma create you. Karma create man. Karma create woman. Karma create animals. Whatever is done or has been done to us is all done by ourselves. Do you get it? Whatever is done or has been done to us is all done by ourselves. The Buddha, even though he was a fully enlightened Buddha, could not avoid the results of his karma. He had to suffer for all the remaining bad karma he had accumulated due to ignorance in his past lives, even when he became a Buddha. What is the cause? Due to ignorance. If you haven't removed ignorance and craving, you will be the one who will accumulate unwholesome deeds which is not for the benefit of you, for the suffering of you. That's why ignorance and craving is our causes. To suffer or to encounter difficulty in life and to experience happiness in life, the cause of them are ignorance and craving. That's why we all practiced meditation, or we are practicing meditation. The main purpose is to remove ignorance and craving. Arahant are those who have removed ignorance and craving. That's why there is no more new existences for them, because they have no ignorance and no craving. So the Buddha, even though he is a fully enlightened Buddha, could not avoid the results of his karma. He had to suffer for all the remaining bad karma he had accumulated due to ignorance and craving in his past lives, even when he became a Buddha. While approaching death, even in his last moments, he suffered because of his bad karma. Have you ever heard what the Buddha suffered near his last moment? Diarrhea, yes? So this is what he suffered because of his past karma. These 12 unwholesome results were directly taught by the Buddha in the form of stanzas. They can be found in the Thera Apadana. Have you ever heard Thera Apadana? Yes. So you should read too. You will see the utterance of Arahants there. The order in which the Vipaka, the 12 unwholesome results, took place varies a little from one place to another. The best order is to take as the first Vipaka, the unwholesome result, that he encountered when he started to look for the truth. He renounced the world, and then he studied under some teachers. After that, he realized that their teachings were not for enlightenment, not for making an end of suffering. Finally, he practiced all by himself in severe austerity. Do you remember it? He practiced himself in severe austerity. He practiced to such extremes for how many years? 6 years. What is your understanding? Because of this, because of that 6 years severe practice, did he attain enlightenment? No. This is not the cause of enlightenment. This is just because of his unwholesome karma that he had accumulated in his past life. He had accumulated an unwholesome karma in one of his past lives, which gave its result when he depended on himself in the striving to become enlightenment, to become enlightened. But the Buddha mentioned in the text, it was not because of those 6 years of severe practice that I became a Buddha. That is not the right way. That is the wrong way. It was only after changing his way of practicing, by following the middle way, that he attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. You remember it. Why did he have to practice so severely for 6 whole years? What was the karma, the past karma that he had accumulated? Do you know? This is something that we should all know and understand. It is beneficial to know the unwholesome karma that the Buddha accumulated in the past. The karma that even he, the Buddha, could not avoid. How can we avoid? Because of knowing karma and its results, we can train ourselves. We can teach ourselves. We can make things easy for ourselves without blaming or accusing anybody else. I will repeat it. We can make things easy for ourselves. Do you get it? This is very important. We can't make things easy. We complain. We blame. We suffer. We can't accept. Why? We don't accept karma and its result really, even though we are Buddhists, even though we think we have faith on the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, and karma and its result. Sometime or many times in life, we can't make things easy. We complain very much. To solve this problem, you all need to listen. These all talk. I heard very soon they are going to burn the city what I have given in Korea. There you should listen in detail. One day, if fortunate, you may read a book. Because of knowing karma and its results, we can make things easy for ourselves. With regard to whatever has happened, the Buddha said, I do not say that there is causeless effect. What the Buddha said, whatever happened, I don't say that there is causeless effect. There is cause. There is its cause. There will be one cause, two causes, or many causes. Every effect has its own cause. Nothing happens without a cause. Everything happens because of its causes. When we know about the result of past karma that the Buddha had to suffer for even when he became a Buddha, maybe we will understand more about karma and its result. There are unwholesome karma that we commit bodily, verbally, and mentally. Bodily wrong action, verbal wrong action, and mental wrong action. These three unwholesome actions give unwholesome results. Because of these wrong actions, the Buddha suffered, not only when he became a Buddha, but also earlier in his many past lives. He suffered in hell and was reborn as an animal countless times because of all these bad karma. That's why all of you should know that we should not commit any wrong actions in this very life. Even if someone does or has done something unpleasant to us, we don't need to blame anyone. It is because of the karma which we have accumulated in the past that someone has appeared to blame, to accuse, to complain, or to find fault with us. Do you agree with it? You can agree, but you can't practice yet. I would like to relate to you the first of the 12 Vipaka and wholesome results that the Buddha accumulated. He had to practice extremely severely for 6 whole years. That was because of its unwholesome deeds in one of his past lives, in which he was reborn as Jyotipala in a Brahmin family. Have you ever heard the name Jyotipala? If you want to read about Bodhisattva Jyotipala, you can read. It appeared in the Digha Nikaya, I think. He was reborn in a Brahmin family that used to study astrology and the Vedas. At that time, all the Brahmins studied, mastered, and earned their living through these education subjects. Then Kassapa Buddha arose in the world. Kassapa Buddha is the Buddha that appeared in the world before Gautama Buddha. So very close. But very close means it lasted. How long we can't say. It is not explained in the commentary too. But it is said Buddhandara Kappa. So between one Buddha and another Buddha, it is also very long too. But compared to the period our Bodhisattva had fulfilled the Barami for incalculable and 100,000 eons, it can be said it is quite short. But it is also quite long if we just say about that period between one Buddha and another. When the Kassapa Buddha arose in the world, many of his disciples, men, devas, and brahmas, became noble persons. They ascended to noble ground because of the teaching of the Buddha. How fortunate we will be if we meet with the Buddha. But we are unfortunate beings because of having done unfortunate things, I think. That was because of his unwholesome deeds in one of his past lives. One of his lay disciples. The porter named Gatikara had ascended to noble ground. Who? The porter named Gatikara had ascended to noble ground too. He was a non-returner, a Nagami, and a chief supporter of the Kassapa Buddha as well. He had his close friend. It is a Brahmin Jyotipala, our Bodhisattva. One day, the porter Gatikara told the Brahmin Jyotipala thus, "My dear Jyotipala, let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa fully enlightened. I hold that it is good to see the Blessed One fully enlightened." The Brahmin Jyotipala replied, "Enough, my dear Gatikara. What is the use of seeing the bald-headed recluse?" What did he say? Bald-headed recluse. Do you want to call me? Yes, you can call me. How can the bald-headed one have the knowledge possessed by a Buddha? What did he say? How can the bald-headed one have the knowledge possessed by a Buddha? How can the bald-headed one attain omniscient knowledge? It is superior and difficult to attain. He knew it is very superior because he was fulfilling Bharami to be a Buddha. He knew it is very difficult to attain. It is his pride. His pride, we can say. He complained or he looked down upon the Kassapa Buddha because of his pride. If we look down somebody, it is just because of our pride. That's why be careful. When you are going to complain others, when you are going to look down others, it is just because of your pride and your ego. Ego and pride, they are together. The one whose ego is very strong, their pride also very strong. So they make ego trip. Endless round of ego trip along the rounds of samsara. Are you the one? Yes, you can be. If you are not, very good. When the second and third time, Gatikara said, the Brahmin Jyotipala replied the same thing again. Do you want to hear again? He replied the same thing again. Because of this, the Bodhisattva had to practice extremely severely for 6 whole years. Just this word. What did he say? How can the bald-headed one possess the knowledge of enlightened Buddha? How can the bald-headed one attain omniscient knowledge? It is superior. It is very difficult to attain. Just this saying, just these words make him to practice severely for 6 whole years. Do you want to speak? Anyone, anything you like? Be careful. Be careful. That's why you should keep silent. Silent is gold. Silent is precious. This is the first unwholesome result that the Bodhisattva encountered when he started to look for the truth. Do you want to know another Vipaka? So you like to listen to the talk. Okay, the second Vipaka. Is there anybody who knows? what the second Vipaka is? Do you know? Do you remember the false accusation of the pregnant woman named Jinja Mana Vika? I think you know. Okay? That was the second Vipaka. One day, our Buddha, the fully enlightened one, was giving a talk to many listeners. Included in the audience were those whom you all know: King Pasenadi of Kosala, Adnatha Pindika, the billionaire, Visakha. You know Visakha? I think there is nobody who don't know. Do you want to be a Visakha? The immensely wealthy laywoman Visakha and the others. They were all in the presence of the Buddha. They were listening to a talk being delivered by the Buddha. At that time, a pregnant woman daringly entered, passing through the audience. "Oh, you, enlightened Buddha, are giving a Dharma talk. Your voice is so sweet." Who is telling? Jinja Mana Vika. "You, enlightened Buddha, are giving a Dharma talk. Your voice is so sweet." Yes, it is very sweet for your audience. That was what she started to say. "You know how to enjoy the bliss of love, but you don't know how to support me. Now you see my pregnancy is mature. If you don't care to fulfill your duty, you should ask all your lay devotees to provide the support that I need. Why don't you tell them? Here you have the king of Kosala, you have Adnatha Pindika, and you have Visakha, all of whom are very rich. You only know how to fulfill your desires, but you don't know how to take care of your responsibilities. Now you ask them to take care of me." If someone complains you how to do? Now in front of many audience, King Pasenadi of Kosala, Adnatha Pindika, Visakha, and many well-known people, those who are listening, at that time he daringly entered and accused the Buddha. The Buddha stopped his sermon. The enlightened one stopped giving his talk. In the audience, there were people with two different points of view. If you are in the audience, you see the accusation of one lady who was very beautiful with the pregnant. What will you feel? Consider. Now, in the audience, there were people with two different points of view. There were those whose faith in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha were unshakable. And so they knew that this was only an empty accusation, that is, that it was not true. Those who have unshakable faith, they knew well this is just empty accusation. This is not true. But another group, those who had not realized Nibbana, those who were only ordinary lay devotees, they thought, "Oh, now the Buddha is keeping silent. Maybe it is all true." If it were not true, the Buddha would not remain silent. Do you think? You may think, because you haven't developed unshakable faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. You're just ordinary lay devotees. That's why these two points of view occur in the audience. If it were not true, the Buddha would remain silent. Maybe it is because it really happened. We are now seeing the pregnant woman in front of us, bravely accusing the Buddha without fear of anything. When she cast the blame so, the Buddha replied, "Sister, whether what you have said is true or untrue, only I and you can know." Very good. But please listen to that. Chenja Mana Vika retorted sharply in her bold and impertinent manner. "Yes, you are right. How can others know what only you and I know?" Clever? Very clever. It is just because of her past habit. Not only in that life, but also in many other past lives, he had developed such skill. That's why he knew how to manipulate those who don't know. What had our Bodhisattva done to deserve this second Vipaka? If I need to explain in detail, I need to talk many things, but I make brief for all of you to know. In one of our Bodhisattva's past lives, he was a drunkard. Day and night he was drinking. Is there anybody who was drinking day and night here? I don't think so. If you are like our Bodhisattva, day and night who was drinking will not come here, I think. One day, an Arahant was going on his alms round. He passed through the village where our Bodhisattva was staying. When our Bodhisattva saw the Arahant, he insulted the Holy One, saying, "O bald man, you are not handicapped. You have arms, you have legs. Why do you go around begging for alms when you can walk? Why don't you try to earn some money? You should depend on yourself, not on others." This is what he complained to the Arahant who was going for alms. In this way, he jeered at and insulted the Arahant. Because of that accusation, after he passed away, our Bodhisattva fell into hell for many lives. Why? Arahants are very pure and perfect. They are fertile land. If you grow sweet tree in a fertile land, it will bear very delicious sweet fruit. In the same fertile land, if you grow a bitter seed, one day it will bear its fruit. It will produce very bitter fruits. That's why on the same land, if we grow a different tree, a different seed, with different intention, it will give different results. If you complain to an unvirtuous person and towards a virtuous person, these two results will not be the same. They will be very different. Now the accusation is not very, very serious. However, the one who he accused was very virtuous, perfect. That's why he suffered. After he passed away, he fell into hell for many lives. That's why we are with the virtuous ones at the time, we must be very mindful. But what I want to suggest all of you, not because we are afraid to suffer, not because we want to gain something, just because we want to do something we should do. If we do good, it is the best. Do you get what I mean? Yes, that's why because of expectation, if you try to do good, you are not really good yet. Because you expect something. If there is no any results, you may not do it. That's why we should do good things because it is good. With whoever we meet in our life, with young and old, high or low, rich or poor, we should treat everybody respectfully. Only then we can maintain our goodness. There is nothing we can rely on in our life. It is only goodness. If you want to rely, just rely on goodness. You can't rely on your properties if you don't know how to make use of them. You can't rely on your position too. You can't rely on your friends, your parents, your daughter, your sisters, and anybody, anything else. That's why you all should maintain your goodness to be able to rely on it in whichever condition, in this very life or in the future existences. So in this way, he jeered at and insulted the Arahant. Because of that accusation, after he passed away, our Bodhisattva fell into hell for many lives. This karma ripened in the form of the second Vipaka. It was the false accusation of the pregnant woman named Chincha Manavika. Now I am going to talk about another Vipaka of the Buddha. There was another woman who claimed that she spent her night alone with the Buddha in his perfume chamber. The story is, for the most part, the same as the second Vipaka, but with different characters. One evening, when people were coming back from the Jetavana monastery after listening to a Dhamma talk given by the Buddha, the lady Sundari walked in the direction of the Jetavana monastery. Here I need to tell about the way people spend their daily life when Buddha appeared in the world, especially those who lived in Savatthi. Daytime, housewife, and ladies and many other women They went to the Jetavana monastery to listen to Dharma, to practice meditation the whole day. Because they have fulfilled Bharami along the round to Revata. And mostly they met with the Bodhisattva. Mostly they were the disciples of the Bodhisattva in many, many past lives. When the Bodhisattva became a Buddha, at the time also they became the disciples of the Buddha. So, women, both young and old, they went to the Jetavana monastery daytime. Evening time, they went back home. When they got their home, at the time, their husband, men, young and old alike, they went to monastery, Jetavana monastery, listen to Dharma, practice meditation. Many also, they slept there too. Now, one evening, when people were coming back from the Jetavana monastery, after listening to the Dharma talk given by the Buddha and practicing meditation, the lady Sundari walked in the direction of the Jetavana monastery. People met her coming from the opposite direction and asked her where she was going to. To which she replied, "I am doing what I usually do. I spend my nights alone with the Buddha in his perfumed chamber." Actually, at night, she spent her night time in one of the heretics' monasteries, which was close to the Jetavana monastery. There was heretics' monasteries very close to the Jetavana monastery. Early the next morning, she came back from the heretics' monastery as if she were returning from the Jetavana monastery. When the people saw this and asked her where she was coming from, she replied, "Oh, I spent last night with the Buddha and permitted him to enjoy the bliss of love with me. I have come back from there." The next day also she did the same, and when people saw and asked her, she answered as before. This went on in the same way for a few days. Now, why did the Buddha suffer such an accusation and humiliation? In one of his past lives, our Bodhisattva was a drunkard. Now you heard the word drunkard in this Vipaka too. He was a drunkard and alcoholic. His name was Munali. Have you ever heard this name? His name was Munali. Munali. One day, an arahant, who was actually a Pa-Auk Buddha named Surati. Pa-Auk Buddha, they translate it as private Buddha, silent Buddha, and declared Buddha. Which one do you like? I like undeclared Buddha. He can't declare or he can't explain how to practice to be able to realize Nibbana. He is self-enlightened Buddha, but he could not teach us to make an end of suffering. The name of the Pa-Auk Buddha was Surati, who went out from. Our Bodhisattva was extremely drunk when he saw the Pa-Auk Buddha and accused, "Oh, here is one who is void of morality, wicked and bad in character." This is what our Bodhisattva Munali accused the Pa-Auk Buddha. How did he say? "Here is one who is void of morality, wicked and bad in character." This was the accusation made by our Bodhisattva. Because of this, Sundari, a very beautiful lady, accused him when he became the Buddha. There was nothing he could do. There was nothing the Buddha could do. So, the Buddha kept quiet. Our Bodhisattva, when he was an alcoholic, he had committed verbally wrong actions towards a virtuous person, a Pa-Auk Buddha. That is why the Buddha said, "A person is born with a knife inside his mouth, with which the fool cuts himself, uttering bad speech." Do you understand? Let me repeat. A person is born with a knife inside his mouth, with which the fool cuts himself, uttering bad speech. A very sharp knife. We are all born with a very sharp knife in our mouths. True? With that knife, we fools cut ourselves, uttering bad speech. Take care of your knife. If you use it properly, it is very, very good. Now I am using mine properly. You see? I am using my knife properly. I am cutting now. Really? I am cutting now. What am I cutting? My cutting is to make an end of suffering, or to destroy the defilements, not to develop defilements. That's why all of you, please be careful. Do not cut yourself. Don't open your mouth without good reason. If you see something, if you want to say something, please be very, very careful and say to yourself, "I was born with a sharp knife in my mouth. Am I going to cut myself by saying bad things about others?" This is what we all ask ourselves. We should remind ourselves. All of you have already accumulated unwholesome karma in this very life. You have already cut much. Do you agree with me? You have already cut much, I'm sure. That's why I will repeat. A person is born with a knife inside his mouth, with which the fool cuts himself, uttering bad speech. Now Lady Sundari cut herself by speaking ill of the Buddha. Our Bodhisattva, when he was not mature, he cut himself by accusing a Pa-Auk Buddha too. Please reflect upon your cutting. What have you cut? Do you remember? Reflect again, but not to feel guilty, not to feel remorse again, just to reflect and accept and to take as a lesson. If we want to be mature, even though we have done wrong in our life, don't think it as a mistakes. There is no mistakes, only lessons. If you can take all the things that you have done as lessons, you can learn from them. We humans become mature just by learning from what we have done. All the mistakes that we have accumulated, all the mistakes that we have done in our life are what we can learn from. If you don't know how to learn from what you have done, you can't grow up. You will be the one who is growing old. Have you grown up? Or are you growing old? Consider. We must grow. We must grow up. We must not grow old. If you can learn from all what you have done, especially mistakes, you will become mature more day by day. Only one thing, important thing is taking as a lessons and decide not to do the same mistake again in your life. If it is a mistake, let it be a new one. Yes, we can learn from it again and we will be mature again. Never think as a mistake. If you think as a mistake, you waste a lot of time thinking about it, feeling regret of it, feeling remorse of it. If you take it as a lesson and if you learn from it, you improve, you become mature, you grow up. Starting from today, please use your knife properly. Otherwise, you will suffer for the consequent bad karma. To be able to do more wholesome deeds, you need to respect one another. I will not continue about Vipaka. I will talk about very important concepts. You may have heard of or come across Hiri and Ottappa. Do you know these two words? Hiri and Ottappa. It is very important to know what these two Pali words mean. Hiri means a sense of shame of wrongdoing. Ottappa means the fear of or shrinking back from doing wrong. Simply to say, Hiri means a sense of shame of wrongdoing. Ottappa means fear of wrongdoing. There is much more explanation about Hiri and Ottappa in the commentary. A sense of shame of wrongdoing can be developed through having self-respect. A sense of shame of wrongdoing can be developed through having self-respect. If you are going to respect yourself, you will be ashamed of doing wrong. Do you get it? It is very important. If you have self-respect, you will be ashamed of wrongdoing. If you are going to do something wrong, it means that you have no shame of wrongdoing, so Hiri is your sense of shame, your conscience, and is an internal sense. It is a sense that you alone can feel or know. Ottappa, however, is a fear or dread of wrongdoing. The commentary explains it as having respect for the external person, those rather than yourself. Having respect for others. It is having respect for yourself as well as for others. It is a fear of the dread that you will be blamed for, accused of, or ridiculed for any wrongdoing. If you respect others, you will be afraid to do wrong. You will shrink back from doing wrong. In this world, one can't live alone forever. There are other people who are living with you, near you, around you. Any wrongdoing committed by you will be criticized by others, and you will be looked down upon. If you dread others' criticisms, you will not commit any wrongdoing. That's why ottappa, fear of wrongdoing, can be developed through having respect on others. Also, shame of wrongdoing can be developed through having respect on oneself. If we have respect if we respect on ourselves and if we respect others, we will not do any wrongdoings. If you have self-respect, you will have a sense of shame in doing wrong. If you respect others, you will have fear of doing wrong. That's why respecting one another as well as yourself is very important. Let me ask you a question. Do you respect yourself? Ask this question yourself and give an answer. There are many questions asked by others, and you answer too. But there are no many people, those who asked questions themselves. We must ask questions ourselves. You must dare to ask questions yourself. You must give an answer to. Only then you will improve. You can really make for the benefit of you yourself. Am I good? Have you ever asked? Am I a wise person? Or am I a stupid one? Have you ever asked? I dare not ask myself. Do you want to give me an answer like this? Please ask yourself. Only then you can improve yourself, you can train yourself, you can develop the real development, and you will grow up. If you don't have respect for yourself, and if you do wrong, you can't expect others to respect you. Everybody in the world, they expect the respect of others. Is it true? True. But as I told all of you, you should ask yourself, do I respect myself? More important thing is not to expect others people respect. to develop self-respect? Which one do you value? Others' respect or self-respect? If you value others' respect, you cannot do really for the good of yourself. There are many people in the world who were respected by others, but those who can't respect themselves. Do you agree? There are many. Because of position, because of wealth, people respect. People show respect, but they can't respect themselves. It is lost. It is a lost. It is not real gain. It is not real improvement. That's why we all need to develop self-respect. To be able to develop self-respect, you need to be mindful. You need to do bodily good actions, verbally good actions, mentally good actions. If you respect yourself, you don't need to worry in your life. Because nobody knows oneself as we know. It is very difficult to respect oneself. You agree with it? Yes, if you can respect yourself, if you can develop this self-respect in your life, you don't need to worry to get the respect from others. It is very easy. External respect is very easy, but self-respect is very difficult to develop and maintain too. You should train yourself to respect yourself. If you respect yourself, it will be very easy to respect others. I told you, if you respect yourself, if you can develop it, other people will respect too. Also, if you respect yourself, it is easy to respect others. If you don't respect others, you are likely to do wrong things in your life. You look down others, you blame others, you accuse others, you find fault of others because you don't respect them. Everything has its own beauty. Do you agree with it? Everything has its own beauty. You must see it. Everybody has its own value. You must see it. Only then you can respect. Otherwise, you can't. That's why, to be able to develop the respect towards others, you need to see others' beauty and others' value. In other words, you must see other bright side. If you just look at others' dark side, you can't respect anybody. Is there anybody who has no dark side? No answer. No dark side in anybody. Is there anybody who has no weakness? Maybe if I say weakness, maybe you may like more, I think. Dark side, weakness, maybe it is similar. Okay? Everybody has weakness. Everybody has strong points. But people mostly look at someone's weakness rather than someone's strong point. There will be nobody who we can associate with if we just look at their dark side. Do you get it? There will be nobody who we can't associate with if we just look at the bright side. Do you get? That's why there is nobody who we can't associate with if we just pay attention their bright side. Just pay attention to it. Only then wholesome states of mind will be with you. You can respect them. You can value them. You see their beauty. If you can see what is right, what is wrong, what is shameful and what is fearful, you will behave properly. You will be heedful and neither act nor do things any way you like. When you have respect for yourself and for others, you will be developing patience. I repeat again. I will repeat it. When you have respect for yourself and for others, you will be developing patience. If you are doing things without regard for others, that is because of a lack of patience. Do you agree with it? If you are doing things without regard for others, that is because of lack of patience. When you have when you behave properly with self-respect, and when you respect others, you will develop patience. To be able to see someone's beauty, to be able to see someone's bright side, we must be patient. We must wait and see the right time. If you respect one another, there will be fewer problems. This world will be a much more peaceful place to live in. Even if you can't make the world a peaceful place, I wish all of you to make your place peaceful. Parents in one family, so they are family members. Parents, they are senior. Sons and daughters, they are junior. However, parents should develop respect on their children too. Mutual respect is very important to maintain peace in a family. Parents, because you are parents, you can't do the way you like. If you do, you have no respect. Mutual respect means fulfilling the needs of others, knowing what he or she needs. If you want to really do for the good of your sons and daughters, you can't do the way you like. You should not do the way you like. You should be mindful. You should observe what is your sons and daughters' strong point. What is your son and daughter's weak point? You should support or you should provide something what is his strong point, to make it strong and to stand on it. But if you just do the way you like, and if you want him or want her to do the way you like, it cannot be said metta, loving kindness. Metta is doing for the good of others. Metta is giving something what other people need, not the way you want. As I told you, even if you can't make the world a peaceful place, I wish all of you to make your place peaceful. What do you need to do to make it peaceful? You must respect one another. Now, why did the Bodhisattva, Jyotipala, Jincha Mana Vika, and Lady Sundari accumulated bad karma? Because they did not respect themselves, and they did not respect the Buddha. If they had self-respect, they would not have done all those wrongdoings that they committed. Because they did not respect themselves, they had no patience. They just acted any way they liked. They followed the demands of their defilements. Having no respect on oneself and others means following the demands of our defilements. We can't develop patience too. Without patience, there is no way that one can develop wisdom. Wisdom can be developed by having patience. If you are patient, you become mature. You know the right things to do. The right place, the right person, the right time. You become a reasonable person. That's why to be patient is having patience is for the development of wisdom. If you can be really patient, you can develop wisdom day by day. Because we are patient, we don't do the way we like. Because we are patient, we wait and see how to do, what to speak, what not to speak. Because of being patient, we find the right time, the right place, the right person to do or to say. Because of this reason, wisdom is developed. Being patient means waiting for the right time, waiting for the right place, waiting for the right person. When we have patience, we restrain ourselves from doing things and behaving the way we like. We have consideration and regard for others. We do things which benefit others as well as ourselves without disturbing, harming, or destroying others. When you have patience, you don't make hasty judgments on face value. This is very important. People make hasty judgments on face value. It is just because of having no patience. That's why no wisdom too. If you happen to complain, blame, or make accusations too quickly, you are not being patient and you are almost likely to be wrong in your judgment. You must exercise patience in your meditation too. How can you develop your wisdom if you have no patience? Buddha said patience is the way leading to make an end of suffering. Patience is the way leading to Nibbana. Those who want to make an end of suffering too must be patient, must practice patience. How can you know how to focus on the object properly if you have no patience? You practice Anapana meditation. If you have no patience, you can't focus. You must not be too eager or greedy in meditation too. Jinja Mana Vika and Lady Sundari had no self-respect. They had no respect for others, and they had no patience too. Because of having no patience, they did not know what to do or what not to do. Wisdom could not be developed in them. You know Devadatta. Because he wanted to be a Buddha, he made much effort to kill the Buddha. However, they were all in vain. Devadatta had no self-respect. He had no respect for others too. Because he had no self-respect, he had no patience. Because he had no patience, he had no wisdom. Because he had no wisdom, he had no right knowledge. That's why he indulged his defilements, thinking he was a master, when in fact he had become the slave of his defilements. Defilements condemned him to do something, and he acted accordingly, because he thought, it is I, it is me. I want to be a Buddha. Without fulfilling bharamis, he wanted to become a Buddha. Because of having no patience, right understanding could not be developed in him. He did not know how to train his mind. That's why one must train to respect oneself. Starting from today on, try to respect yourself and respect others too. Whenever you are about to do something, please ask yourself, what am I going to do? Why am I going to do? Am I being respectful to myself and to others? Now I want to mention something about scolding one another. Scolding is because of having no respect for others. So please don't scold each other or anyone. You must respect others, because if you don't respect others, you are likely to accumulate bad karma. You will accumulate unwholesome karma that will one day yield results. At that time, many people will appear who want to scold you. Now I think in Singapore, many people scold one another, I think. They have a lot of stress and strain because of scolding. You don't do this way. That's why if you complain others, when it yield its result, someone will appear to complain you. If you accuse others, when it yield its result, someone will appear who accuse you. In the world, we need good leaders. In every association, we need a leader. If there is a good leader, there will also be many good students, good disciples, and good members. That's why you need to emulate a good leader. If you can really train yourself to respect yourself and others, you can become a good leader whom others would wish to emulate. All the good leaders have this quality, they are patient. Okay? Now we meet each other because of our past karma. I would like to think that we all are birds of the same feather flocking together. Let no one behave the way Devadatta behaved. I think you know much about how Devadatta behaved. We should emulate, for example, the way all the wise people behaved. We should emulate mainly the way the Buddha do, the way the Buddha act, the way the Buddha speak. There is no one who is as patient as the Buddha. So, tonight I have explained about 3 unwholesome results of the Buddha. For the remaining ones, I encourage all of you to listen the talk that I have given in Korea, as I told all of you. Before I go back or after I go back, maybe they will burn CD and offer that CD to all of you. So there, if you listen, you will know each unwholesome result of the Buddha quite detailed. Now I just explain, just very briefly. I notice myself and I notice many of my disciples in Korea, because of having got the opportunity to hear the 12 unwholesome Vipakas, they can make things more easy. Before hearing that talk, everybody has their own problems. They can't adjust, they can't balance their mind. They can't make things easy. They want to complain, they want to respond, they want to react, they want to do back something. If we do something back, when we are complained, when we are accused, when we are found fault of, it will be a new bad karma. It ripens because of our past karma. If we just keep quiet, if we accept it, so the power of the bad karma will become weaker and weaker. That's why, to be able to solve all the problems we encounter in our life, we need 2 things to practice. It is to accept. Another thing is not to participate. Accept without participating. Do you understand? This is very important. This is what I have explained in my last talk in the freedom, I think. That's why we all need to accept without participating. If someone complains, if you participate, what will you do? You will react. You will do revenge too. Okay? You will hold revenge in your mind. That's why accepting is accepting law of karma. Whatever happened to you, whatever happened, please accept it. It happened because of its causes, not because of anybody. Now you see, Jinja-mana accused the Buddha. It is not because of Jinja-mana, just because of Buddha's bad karma. Buddha knew that time ripens. He can't avoid. He can't do anything. He just keep quiet. Let it ripen. That's why if something happened in your life, please accept. Buddha didn't participate. Just keep quiet and accept it. This is important. I will repeat it. Accept without participating. your life will be beautiful. Let me stop here tonight. Any questions?
I want to ask, let's say for the first Vipaka, right? Let's say the Bodhisattva itself, instead of doing a verbal action, and by saying bull-headed, then let's say...
By saying?
This, because he described the Kassapa Buddha as bull-headed.
Yeah, yes.
So let's say instead of doing this verbal action, let's say he has this thought appearing in his mind. So how will the Vipaka be different? Let's say just have this mind action himself.
There are 3 types of actions we did in our daily life. Bodily, verbally, and mentally actions. So as you all know, you practice 5 precepts. Among 5 precepts, the first one is killing. This is bodily. Second one is stealing. This is also bodily wrong actions. The third one also bodily wrong actions. The fourth one is verbally wrong actions. We want to tell lies. We want to do harsh speech just mentally. But we didn't speak. It is not verbal action. It is just mental actions. If Bodhisattva accumulated just mental actions, it will not give such results. But it will give its result not as serious as this. Mental wrong actions also, according to Buddha's Abhidhamma, this is unwholesome. Any more questions?
May I ask, please, is there a way we can reduce bad karma?
All the bad karma that we have accumulated, it will give its result. According to Buddha's Abhidhamma, when we are going to do, or when we are doing good or bad deeds, strongly, mental process arises. In the mental process, there are 7 mind moments. The first mind moment can give its result in this very life. The last 7 mind moment, if it gives its result, it will give in the subsequent life. So if they don't give their results, they become a lapsed karma. The between 5 mind moments, between first and 7, they will give their results until we take final nibbana. Okay? So that's why. But one thing, we can't stop it. We can't stop any karma that we have accumulated. We can stop. It means we can remove ignorance and craving, which is the cause of new existences. Okay? Karma that we have accumulated, which can give its result in the 4 woeful states, can be destroyed by removing defilements. This is the only way. Only when we can remove self-identity, attachment to rite and rituals, and doubt, we have removed all the karma that can give its result in the 4 woeful states. But they will give in other form of results, not in the 4 woeful states. We have accused others very seriously in one of our lives. If it gives its result, we may fall to the four states. But when we have removed the 3 defilements that I have told previously, even you have those karma, they cannot give their results in the four states. That's why we can reduce their power by removing our defilements through practicing meditation. Meditation is the only way.
I just want to ask, relating to the first question, let's say if it's verbal, mental, and bodily wrong action, which one is the most severe, has the most severe vipaka?
Our body's system is like a computer. There are 2 systems in computer. One is hardware, another is software. Hardware alone can't do anything. Software instructs hardware what to do. Without software, hardware is useless. In the same way, even though we talk about 3 actions in our daily life, even though we act, we do 3 actions in our daily life, the cause of all the actions are mental actions. Mental actions comes first. So mental actions instruct body and mind, body and verbal what to do. All the bodily wrong actions and verbal wrong actions come into being just because of listening the instructions of the mind. However, if the karma that we are going to do related to bodily actions, it just arises in your mind, it will not count. It cannot be counted as the bodily wrong actions. That's why it will not be as serious as bodily wrong actions, just mental wrong actions only. If it convert or transform into bodily actions, at that time it becomes serious. For about killing, only when you kill. If you desire to kill, but you don't kill, it is not killing. But because of that desire, you will suffer too. Not as serious as killing. Okay? So mental action is both good and bad mental actions can give rebirth in the good realms and bad realms too.
Bhante, thank you very much for your talk. I wish to know more about the self-respect. Like, is it something like respect for others is always thinking for others, consideration for others? So is it similarly, respect for self is like being honest to oneself, like promising oneself, and one should carry out what?
To be able to develop self-respect, we all need to practice morality. It completely depends on our morality. If we have good character, good behavior, if we are virtuous, it is a way to develop self-respect. Anytime, in any condition, any place you are. If you think about yourself, you have no worry, you have no feeling of remorse, so you appreciate yourself. Self-appreciation is for the development of self-respect. Whenever you reflect your virtue, you're very happy. You can respect. That's why if we practice the first training of the Buddha, the training of morality, it is for self-respect. However others respect you, however much they respect you, if you know that you are not virtuous, you have no self-respect. Right?
Sorry. So the Bodhisattva, he accused the Pacceka Buddha in a state of drunken. So which bears heavier karma? To accuse somebody in a state of drunken or in a state of undrunken?
Buddha said, Cetana ham bhikkhve kammam vadami, I declare volition as karma. If we talk about karma, we must talk about volition. How strong the intention is. Whether we are drunkard, whether we are not. How strong our volition is. If our good intention, if we have very strong good intention, that karma become very good karma. If we have very bad strong intention, at that time it become a very bad karma. That's why it depends on intention. Whether we are drunk, whether we are not, intention is important. We must think about the intention. Okay? However, they have much delusion at that time. Because every wrong action is associated with the delusion. Because of delusion, we all can do wrong things. There is no restraint at that time. Okay?
Okay, thank you for the talk. I'm asking a similar question. What about if somebody suffers from dementia or has confusion due to sickness? Is the intention of wrongdoing strong, or do you think are they like having a dreamlike state that may not be so strong?
Yes, because of sickness, because of weakness of the mind, maybe sometimes people heedlessly do. So their intention may not be very strong at that time. But this is our assuming only. As I told you, the words of the Buddha, I declare intention as the karma. Whatever, how strong the karma is, completely depend on how strong the intention is. In whichever stage our mind is, it completely depends on our intention. Okay?
Bhante, thank you very much for your talk. I'm just wondering, Bhante said about accepting and not participating when something happens. But sometimes in real life, if we are in situations when something happens, sometimes being nice doesn't quite get things going, and you have to be a bit nasty before things will happen. So, under those circumstances, should we just accept the maturing of our bad karma and not do anything, or should we react but create more bad karma but get things going?
When the karma ripens, or whatever happens in our life, both good and bad, there may be time we need to keep quiet. There may be time we need to say something. Or there may be a condition we need to wait the right time to do. Okay? Because Buddha's teaching is very flexible. Buddha knew the right thing to do, the right time to do, the right place to do. And also, he knew not to do too. So for us, sometimes we think this is the right time. Sometimes we think, no, this is not the right time. So depending on our life experience and our wisdom, sometimes we can make a right decision, sometimes we can't. That's why sometimes, if we know that this is what I need to keep quiet, without telling anything, without doing any action, it is better. We should do that way. Sometimes By doing something, by saying something, we can help both parties. For this case, we should do at the time. So how to do? It depends on our life experience, it depends on our wisdom. I can't say definite answer. Okay? Okay, no more questions. We will share merits done today. Idam me punyam asavakayam vaham hotu idam me punyam nibbanasa pacayo hotu mama punya bhagam sabba sattanam bhajemi te sabbe me samam punya bhagam labantu sa